Hi everyone, welcome back to another month of Stretch the Sketch. Right here is the sketch that I showed you. You can pause the video and get a better look at it, or I'm sure that you can check out all of the other wonderful videos in this group and they will have shown the sketch as well. This sketch is a little bit different for me and I was a little thrown off by the flags that are kind of in the background, but I'm really happy with the results. I'm going to kind of change it up a little bit. And so like I said, I'm really happy with the results. So I'm going to go through and for the main part of my sketch, um, I'm going to go ahead and cut the papers for the papers that will go stretch along both sides of the page. I'm doing a double page layout. So, and then I'm going to cut down some papers that are going to be for, I guess, are they flags or banners? I guess I never really know which one to call them. I think I called them both multiple times. So, but anyways, right now I am just getting ready or getting the background papers ready, and I'm going to use the Cocoa Vanilla Happy Days collection. And I'm going to, fair warning, I did make this video I think early June. I did a bunch of videos. I did a couple of the Stretch Your Sketch and a couple of the Mad About Mini paper pads at the same time so that I could know that they were at least the layouts were made and I could at least have those videos up because I know I have not been very good at all about posting videos. So I'm doing the voiceover for this one before I'm going to do the voiceover for the Mad About Mini paper pads, and I know the Mad About Mini paper pads comes before this one, so if I repeat myself, I do apologize. But this one, in fact, I kind of got scared because I went to do the voiceover, and this one I meant to do second. And then I realized, oh, I can't find my Mad About Mini paper pads. And I started to panic because it's due this week, this Saturday, and today is Tuesday. But then I realized it's still on my camera, I believe. Well, at least keep your fingers crossed, or I guess we'll find out. If I have a video up, that means that I did it. And if I don't, I don't know. Anyways, the sketch called for some, like basically a main block of paper and then a couple strips going sideways across the page. And here's where I'm kind of playing around. I thought about doing blocks of paper, and honestly, actually looking at these now, I kind of like the way that those look. You could easily do the blocks instead of the banners if you wanted to, but I was kind of just playing around. Again, I'm using the Cocoa Vanilla Happy Days collection, and I have to tell you, I recorded a few videos with this collection, and then I just did a few kind of where I basically scrap lifted some of the design team, because the design team, they're great for Cocoa Vanilla. They have some great design team members. And since I was basically scraplifting, I did it basically almost exactly the way they did it. I didn't record those because I'll show you the layouts if I do a layout share, which I'm planning on doing soon because I'm out of space to put my layouts, where I put them, basically have a shelf I put them on, and then when that shelf is full, I will separate them and put them into albums, chronologically. And where I have them, I've already started on a second shelf because it's full. To be fair, I do have a lot of dimension on my layouts though, so that kind of doesn't help. But anyways, I did cut the strips of the paper for the banners to 3 inches at this point, and I figured I would just cut them because they're going to be behind this other pattern paper that I'm using. I don't need to, have a full 12-inch or 10-inch sheet. And so I used the 6x8 paper pad, which I think it's not 6x8. I don't know, because I believe this collection is made in, I want to say, Australia. So therefore, I think their sizes might be a little different. So it's like slightly smaller than 8 inches, whatever the term is. I don't know. No, excuse me, not slightly smaller than 8 inches, but slightly smaller than 6 inches. And so I don't get 2 full 3-inch pieces. But I figured at this point they would be on opposite pages of each other and you wouldn't even really notice. And also I have my little friend here with me. Again, he is sleeping in his box. If you saw my other video where he's my new best friend since my son is away. It's summer, but my son is working at a camp for diabetic children, one that he's been going to. You guys have probably heard me refer to it many times. He is working there now as a counselor, and it's just amazing. It's just an amazing place. But he said, anyways, that means he's still not home, and so I still have a best friend. He tries to chase my other son around, but my other son is like, yeah, whatever. He likes him and he'll pet him. I have to call him sometimes and say at night and say, dude, your cat needs a little attention. Give him a little attention. And then the cat seems a little bit better for a while, but he is in the box next to me. So if you hear some weird noises, which it seems like a lot of you guys, you don't hear the background noise, which is amazing because I'm just using my computer. I don't have any special microphone or anything like that. But I just wanted to mention if you did hear scratching, he's kind of moving around in the box. But anyways, I was going to put these strips at kind of a wonky angle like it is on the sketch and kind of have it go across both pages that way. But then I decided because I only wanted to use, I was kind of hoarding, but like I said, or maybe I started to say, I used up so much of this collection. I like had to force myself to put it away because I was out of everything. That blue paper that I'm using now was the first to go. And I thought about even ordering another piece of it, but I'm pretty happy with how much I got used of this collection. So, anyways, so I was kind of hoarding at this point, that heart paper. I didn't want to use too much of it up. So that's why I decided I didn't want to cover up too much of it either, I guess, because I don't know. I just decided to put the strips down below and they're not wonky. They're more straight than they are wonky, but it's all in how you interpret the sketch, right? So also I knew because that background paper, it's small white with a bunch of little hearts. I wanted to back the photos. I've been having a lot of fun matting the photos with different colors. You guys have probably seen me do it quite a few times lately. It's nothing new, not a new story that's been written. It's just literally colored photo mats that I don't always do, and I've kind of been enjoying doing lately. And you know, the other thing I realized is that I have not pulled out any of my peel-offs lately. And so I need to do that. Like it's been, I don't know if I have this year at all. So I definitely need to pull those back out and you get to using those. I know a lot of you really like those. So now I'm working on the banners. I picked these colors kind of, I've gone a little bit back and forth because what I had for photo mat colors, again, I'm using the 6x8 pad, which I'm so glad I bought because I used, again, so much of it. This is the first time in a very long time that a collection has come in the mail and I used it first thing and I used it all up. But I just was absolutely in love with this collection. But I kind of measured below what I wanted the size to be, and I'm kind of cutting the banners. You know, I gently fold the paper over and then cut at an angle and you get a nice banner. If you don't fold too hard, put a crease in it, then it doesn't really hold the bench shape. If you put a crease in it, you got to kind of uncrease it a little bit and might be a little bit noticeable, but these bigger pieces make it easier to kind of hold it without creasing it. Smaller pieces a little bit harder, but I don't worry too much about my banner edges being absolutely perfect. I do have that banner edge punch. That's by Stampin' Up, but I don't think it was big enough for these ones. But I kind of wanted to switch gears for a minute, and because I just wasn't feeling the banners, and I think it was the colors that I had chosen, but I'd already glued everything else down. And so I started cutting a couple of these paper pieces up. This is from one of the 6x8 sheets. Most of them are. They're from different parts of the layout, like you're going to see here, or the collection, I'm sorry. I'm going to pull out one of these words here. maybe 2 of them, I think. And I started putting these along the top, kind of in place of the banners. And I love it. I'm like, I put 3 down maybe, and I was like, I knew right away that that's what I wanted to do. So I am going to go ahead and nix the whole banner thing, and I do still have those pieces, and don't worry, I used up some of the scraps later on, not all of them, but most of them. Um, so I'm going to basically build like mimic the banner, but instead it's going to be a bunch of different word stickers here. And I'm trying to mix it around. Again, I used some from the cut apart sheet from the 6x8 piece. I'm cutting apart this piece of ephemera because it was like a prize ribbon and I don't ever use those. I think there's actually 2 of them that I might cut from that. Here's the other one here, or maybe I don't. I couldn't remember if there was 2 or 3 ribbons, but I'm going to, pull out the sticker sheet, which another thing I will mention, I've used up probably a good 85% of that sticker sheet at this point. I'm so excited. It's just really nice to use. I have basically now put this collection into my one and done pile. I tried to force out a last 1 or 2 layouts, but I couldn't do it. I knew that I was trying to force myself to do the layout. And so I decided to just put it away for the time being, put it in the pile for the one and done layouts and pull out something else, which I haven't decided on what I want to work on next. But I am going to catch up a little bit on my Project Life album and then work on something else. But I'm not really sure what I want to use. I was thinking maybe even the Doodlebug. Oh, I don't know the name of the collection. The Doodlebug like beach one that came out last year. I know their the new Hello collection is coming out, and I have to say I am absolutely in love with that collection. So, but I have some videos recorded that I recorded, man, way back in March and April, and I just never have gotten around to them. So I'm trying to catch up on a few other things before I pull out, because I have videos to keep you guys, like I can actually post these videos. I just got to edit them, and I've been so lazy and just busy, and uh, yeah, I have no excuses. So I do put this, I went ahead and I had these all lined up really well, but I didn't line them up good enough. So you can tell that I wanted it to reach to the edge of that pattern paper on both sides. So I wasn't very good at planning it. And of course I went ahead and glued it down, even though I never pay attention to things and I really should. So I'm going to play around, and I found this is basically the same cut apart sheet that the 6x8 is, but the 6x8 didn't have everything that's on here. So it just had a few of the things. So I'm just going to cut the word love this. I thought I just did love, but I did love this. And I'm going to put it there, and it's just barely, there's going to be like, they're not overlapping as much as I wanted them to, because on the left-hand side, they're definitely more overlapping. But again, because I didn't plan well and didn't think about what I was doing, I didn't get them to overlap, and they're barely touching each other with a little bit of extra space. But I didn't worry about it too much. A couple of them are overlapping, and I figured nobody's really going to care in the long run, and I didn't really mind, so I called it good. A couple things with building this that I decided to do. I chose words of different height. I chose different colors. I had to kind of go with what I could find, obviously, but they're different heights. You can see some are thinner and taller. Some, I tried to make sure there was multiple of those black and white from that pattern paper with the words, the memory, smile, and dream. And then I did decide to go ahead and add some of these hearts. I love these hearts. They're gorgeous. These puffy ones. I think I added, I want to say 5 because it was an odd number. And so 2 on one page, 3 on the other. And I will let you know that puffy stickers, like everything else, I will go back and add more glue to. I don't show it in the videos a lot of the times, but I do add more glue to a lot of them. So just so you know that. Now that is what this, now I'm really feeling this layout, and I'm just super excited about the way that top came out. I'm not going to do the banners at the bottom because I didn't really do them at the top. I think what threw me off with the banners was there was a lot of like trap space. And what trap space means is like when you have a piece of paper or embellishment, and then you have a section of just like background paper. Sorry about that. And then you have a section like background paper or something like that, and there's no like escaping that trap space. Like if it has room to, like say you were rolling a marble on your background, if the marble can't get to or out of a trap space, meaning there's like an embellishment in the way or paper in the way, but it's on like the background. So for me, it would be on the white background. If the marble can't roll out of an area, it's trapped. So it's trapped space. Right now, it could roll all around on the white cardstock background because there is no trap space. And I think that really threw me off as far as the sketch. And I'm really curious to see how everybody else, what everybody else does with this sketch, because I think it'll be fun to see. I love seeing everybody's takes on the sketches because it's really cool how like everybody interprets it so much differently than others. So anyways, I put the title down there. It's not glued down. Again, it's chipboard, so I will add extra adhesive. But I'm playing with the flowers. I love the Cocoa Vanilla flowers. I love all flower packs like, Paige Evans. I don't buy a lot of Paige Evans, but I did buy some of her Blooming Wild, I think is the name of the new collection. I do have a video that I've recorded, again, a little bit like in the last couple months, because a lot of you have requested seeing what I've purchased through Doodlebug and how I've bought things differently. So I will edit that video and get that video up, and it will kind of explain a lot of how I'm not buying full collections, and I'm being a little bit smarter about what I buy. Just so you know, that video is coming up. So this is kind of what I've been doing with flowers a little bit lately, and I think it's because I've kind of been enjoying Paige Evans, as I just mentioned. This is just like, I don't even know what you call this tool. I call it a rolly tool. So if that works for you, that works for me. I like to take, I haven't been doing this on every layout, but Paige Evans a lot will kind of crush up and bend her flowers. And I was doing that. Because I did the Crop and Create Delivered, which I did not end up signing up for the fall, by the way. I just wasn't that crazy about the classes. So curious to know if you guys signed up or not. But I like to take this. She crushed up a lot of her flowers and kind of bent them in different ways, and it gives a lot of texture and dimension. Well, I remembered I bought this tool like probably 10 years ago, and I never use it. And it's for stamped. You can do it, you can do it with anything, but it was made for like Heartfelt Creations, I think, for their stamps, to kind of help give the flowers dimension. So now what I do is I've been taking this little roly tool, and on the petals of the flower, I will flip it to the back side and roll it just a little bit. The more you roll it, the more dimension you're going to get. It does kind of break up the paper fibers, I guess. So be aware of that. Your paper will have a different kind of texture-y. It's not bad, depending on how much you do it. But then I flip over the flower to the front side and I roll it in the middle where the middle of the flower is, so the petals stick up off the page. And I'm not going to do it for everyone in this video, but I wanted you guys to kind of see how I'm getting a little bit of dimension on my flowers. And then, you can get these tools off of Amazon. I'm sure probably has cheap ones. I don't know where all you could get them, but it was just kind of fun. And in the close-up photos, you can kind of see how they look with the Roly tool. And if there's a little bit more dimension that I want, you can see I like to use my little tweezers and kind of hold down the flower, or if it's glued down, I don't even need to hold it down, but I like to hold down the flower and use my little tweezers to kind of shape it a little more. That's a good way to, if it's already glued down, you can give a little more shape. Now, I do add a little bit of foam adhesive under some of the flowers on some of the pieces, some of the layouts, but you do not have to. It's because you've already broken up the fibers in those flowers. It's going to be a long time, even in the page protector, even with a closed book. I think it would be a while before it really went back to flat again, if that makes sense. But if you feel better, like I just did, feel free to add more or some foam adhesive under the parts that you want to stick up. And then, so I've done that with all the clusters and all the flowers. Again, I didn't make you watch me do it all. If you have any questions about it, let me know below. There is going to be more videos with this collection where I think I do it again. I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure I recorded most of them. And then I did add that blue banner down in that cluster by the title, Good Times. And to me, that is basically mimicking the banner of the sketch. So I know it doesn't match anything that's up above, any of the papers up above, but it still adds a banner there. And I actually really like it. Normally I struggle with banners. The other thing I struggle with is rainbows, but you will notice I got 2 rainbows on the page, which they fit perfectly. The colors went well and I loved them. So I am super happy with this layout. Oh, and I did sew. I think I forgot to say, I think I forgot, period, that I sewed on the layout, but I've been doing that quite a bit lately. Now here is where I am going to add, I'm basically cut my layout down so I can give it a border. I'm not crazy about it, but I don't hate it. So I think if I had to do it again, maybe I would have picked a different color. But I was trying, we all have, or at least, I'm assuming we all have cardstock that never gets used, right? So I pulled out that purple, and I want to say it's a close to my heart. Yeah, I'm like 90% sure that it's a close to my heart paper, especially since it's lighter on one side and darker on the other. And it's, I don't ever use purple, really. I love purple, but I just never really use it. And so I went ahead and I'm going to mount my entire layout, and I did not gut the middle because I have plenty of solid cardstock, and it's just not something that I use enough of to, justify cutting out the middle. I'd rather have a nice stable layout. So that's just a little bit of information there. And this part, I feel like this kind of ruins the layout as well. Again, I don't hate it, but I wish that I hadn't done it. And I'm just taking my glitter pins and, mixing them with a little bit of water. And I'm going to add yellow and blue. And I was thinking that would help with this layout not looking so purple. So it's different for me. I'm happy with how it turns out. I wish that I hadn't done the splattering, but I did. And so I'm leaving it, and I love the layout. So even if you do a little mistake or something like this that you're not super crazy about, just remember that it's okay. And for me, it's just different. A lot of people splatter multiple colors all over the place, and it looks amazing. And I look at them and I'm like, oh, that looks so cool. So maybe you guys will think this looks really good, while I'm kind of like, but again, the story is told. I love the layout, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So I know I mentioned checking out the videos. There will be links below for all of the other ladies in this YouTube hop. And I was trying to show you there, but apparently I went too fast. So here's the close-up photos. And I think I also added in a couple of the hearts into each little cluster as well, some white hearts. So that is my layout. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please leave me a comment below, and I will get off to working on some more layouts for you guys to have to watch. All right, I will see you guys next time. Hope you had a great day. Bye.